You know that feeling when you boot up a game thinking you'll play for an hour, and then suddenly the sun is coming up? These are those games, the ones that didn't just steal my time, they completely hijacked weeks or even months of my life. And honestly, I don't regret a single minute. Welcome back to Pulse Gaming. If you haven't watched part 1 of this series, check the link in the description. And before we get started, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've also got affiliate links down below if you want to support the channel. Now let's talk about the games that absolutely consumed me. Bloodborne wasn't just difficult, it was obsessive. From Software created something that rewires how you think about games. Every death felt personal. Every boss fight was a lesson in patience and pattern recognition. I spent weeks in Yharnam, and the crazy thing is that even after beating it, I immediately started a new Game Plus run. The Victorian Gothic horror setting pulled me in harder than any Souls game before it. Central Yharnam, the Forbidden Woods, Cainhurst Castle, these weren't just levels, they were places I genuinely feared exploring. The sound design alone made every corner terrifying. You'd hear something shuffle in the distance, and your heart rate would spike. What really hijacked my time was the build experimentation. Skill builds with the Blade of Mercy, strength builds with Ludwig's Holy Blade, arcane builds that turned you into a spell-slinging hunter. Each one played completely differently and demanded a new playthrough. I probably put 200 hours into this game across multiple characters, and I still find myself going back whenever I need that specific rush only Bloodborne can provide. Days Gone got unfairly criticized at launch, but once you're 10 hours in and riding through the Oregon wilderness with hordes of freakers chasing you, none of that matters. This game hijacked my life because it made me care about Deacon St. John in ways I wasn't expecting. The story starts slow, but by the midpoint, I was completely invested in finding Sarah and understanding what happened to the world. The horde encounters are what really kept me coming back. The first time you see 300 freakers stampede toward you, it's pure panic. But once you learn the systems and start using environmental traps, explosives, and clever positioning, taking down hordes becomes this incredible power fantasy. I remember spending entire evenings just hunting hordes, clearing them one by one off the map. The bike customization also became weirdly addictive. Upgrading the fuel tank, improving the handling, adding better exhausts. It made the world feel more alive because you were constantly improving your primary means of survival. I put over 80 hours into Days Gone, and I'm still hoping for a sequel that never came. Ghost of Tsushima is one of those games where you set out to do one mission, and 3 hours later, you're still riding through golden fields chasing foxes to shrines. Sucker Punch created the most beautiful open world I've ever explored. The wind-based navigation system alone changed how I think about UI in games. No minimap, no quest markers cluttering the screen, just wind guiding you and your own sense of direction. The combat feels like playing through a samurai film. Standoffs where you face down multiple enemies, blade drawn, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Duels that test your reaction time and ability to read animations. Every encounter felt cinematic, especially once you unlock different stances for different enemy types. But what really hijacked my time was the completionist in me. Every fox den, every hot spring, every haiku location, every hidden shrine. I cleared the entire map before finishing the main story. Then Iki Island dropped, and I did it all over again. I put over 100 hours into this game, and most of that was just existing in Tsushima because it felt meditative. No other game has made exploration feel that rewarding. Devil May Cry 5 is pure style. Capcom created a character action game that rewards creativity and experimentation more than any other game in the genre. Playing as Nero, Dante, and V, each offered completely different combat experiences, and mastering all three became an obsession. The ranking system is what really hooked me. Getting an S rank on a mission felt good, but getting triple S rank on every encounter in a mission while maintaining an SSS overall? That required genuine mastery. I spent weeks practicing combos, learning enemy patterns, and figuring out how to juggle enemies between weapons without repeating moves. Dante alone has something like 5 melee weapons and 4 ranged weapons that you can swap between mid-combo. The skill ceiling is absurdly high, and watching high-level players pull off combos I couldn't even comprehend pushed me to get better. Bloody Palace Mode, a 101-floor survival gauntlet, became my endgame. Clearing it with each character took dedication, but the satisfaction was immense. I easily put 120 hours into DMC5, and I'm still not done learning its systems. DayZ is suffering. It's buggy, it's brutal, and it will break your heart repeatedly. But no game has ever made me feel tension like DayZ. The permadeath system means every life matters. You can spend hours gearing up, finding the perfect weapons and supplies, only to lose everything to a sniper you never saw or a pack of infected you couldn't shake. The player interactions are what made DayZ hijack my life. You never know if another player will help you or shoot you on sight. Some of my favorite gaming moments happened in DayZ. Teaming up with random strangers to survive, getting betrayed by people I thought were friends, intense firefights where my hands were shaking so badly I could barely aim. I remember one character I kept alive for 3 weeks of real-time play. I had a fully kitted M4, night vision, medical supplies, everything. I felt invincible. Then I got cocky, pushed into a military base alone, and got demolished by a squad. I was genuinely upset for an hour afterward. That emotional investment is what keeps pulling me back. I've probably put 300 hours into DayZ across different servers and characters, and I'll probably put in 300 more. I'm grouping these together because they hijacked my life in similar ways, but for different reasons. Fallout 4 had the better combat and settlement building system. New Vegas had the better writing and choices. Both ate months of my life. Fallout 4's settlement building became an addiction. I'd tell myself I was just going to organize my workshop inventory. Then, 4 hours later, I'm constructing an elaborate fortress, complete with defense systems, water purification, and organized supply lines. The main story was fine, but the real game was turning the Commonwealth into a thriving network of connected settlements. New Vegas, meanwhile, pulled me in with its factions and consequences. Every choice mattered. Siding with NCR, Legion, House, or going independent, each offered completely different experiences. The DLC alone, Dead Money, Old World Blues, Lonesome Road, these weren't just expansions. They were full games worth of content with some of the best writing in any RPG. Between both games, I probably have 400 hours combined, and I still haven't done every possible faction combination or found every unique weapon and location. Tears of the Kingdom took everything Breath of the Wild did and expanded it in ways I didn't think possible. The Sky Islands, the depths, the new abilities. Nintendo created one of the most creative sandbox games ever made. But what really hijacked my life was the building system. Ultra Hand and Fuse changed everything. Suddenly, you're not just exploring Hyrule, you're engineering solutions to problems. Need to cross a gap? Build a bridge. Need to reach a floating island? Build a flying machine. Combat encounter? Build a death robot. The possibilities felt endless, and I spent hours just experimenting with different contraptions. I built hover bikes, tanks, planes, boats, and increasingly ridiculous combat vehicles. The depths alone took me 40 hours to fully explore, and I still find new caves and secrets in the overworld. Shrine hunting, upgrading armor, completing all the side quests, finding all the Koroks. The completionist in me couldn't stop. I put 180 hours into Tears of the Kingdom and barely scratched the surface of what's possible with the building system. These 10 games represent hours and hours of my life combined. Some people might see that as wasted time, but I see it as experiences I'll never forget. These games challenged me, frustrated me, and ultimately rewarded me in ways that only gaming can. The crazy part is, I'd do it all again. Every grueling boss fight, every permadeath, Every hour spent building and exploring, because these weren't just games, they were obsessions that gave me some of my best gaming memories. What games have hijacked your life? Are there any on this list you'd add to your own? Or do you have completely different time sinks? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, make sure you're subscribed to Pulse Gaming with notifications on. Check out the affiliate links in the description to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.